Zoning Commission meeting for July 28th to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Langang,
Yes.
Commissioner Huber,
Here.
Commissioner Mutter, Commissioner Horn,
Here.
Mayor Freilich,
Here.
Commissioner Infeld,
Here.
Commissioner McLean,
Here.
Commissioner Smith,
Here.
Commissioner Hammond,
Here.
Commissioner Gardner,
Here.
Commissioner Renner, Chair Robinson.
Here. Next item, we have a copy of the minutes from our June 23rd meeting. Are there any changes?
Chair Robinson, I can move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner McLean, second by Commissioner Hammond to approve the minutes of June 23rd. Questions? None. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Langang,
Yes.
Commissioner Huber,
Yes.
Commissioner Horn,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich,
Yes.
Commissioner Infeld,
Yes.
Commissioner McLean,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammond,
Yes.
Commissioner Gardner,
Yes.
Commissioner Renner, Chair Robinson.
Yes. Minutes are approved. We'll move on to the first of our public hearings. Item number 1, consider Shaw Estates Third Edition Final Plat. Rachel?
Good evening. Remember how to use this. Not. You can see the agenda. Is the agenda pulled up? Sorry. Okay. So this is a final plat for Shaw Estates Third Edition at 2392 37th Street. So the Planning and Zoning Commission tabled the preliminary plat and zone change request at the May 28th, 2025 meeting, and they recommended approval of the preliminary plat and zone change request and special use permit for Lot 2 at the June 23rd, 2025 meeting. The City Commission then approved the preliminary plat, zone change request for Lot 2 and special use permit for Lot 2 at the July 15th, 2025 meeting. So this is now the final plat for the Shaw Estates Third Edition, with Lot 1 containing 6.33 acres, zoned CB commercial, and Lot 2 containing 2.84 acres, with a contingent zoning of R7 residential and a contingent special use permit for the parking and storage of a personal use commercial vehicle over 2.5 tons on a residential property. The residential property on Lot 2 will contain the existing shop and home, and Lot 1 is currently vacant. The second reading of the zoning ordinance for Lot 2 will be on the August 5th City Commission agenda. The plat has not changed since the preliminary plat, so all of the information in your package should stay the same. And all technical requirements for approval of final plat have been met. It does align with the future land use plan and other plans. It's not located in the special flood hazard area. Thank you. And is consistent with the general intent and purpose of the zoning ordinance, with the master plan, and would not adversely affect the public health, safety, and general welfare. So city staff does recommend approval of the final plat for Shaw Estates Third Edition.
Questions for Rachel? Again, do we have any questions? Questions for Rachel? With none, I'll open it up for public comments or questions on item number 1. Comments on item number 1? One final time. Questions on item number 1? With none, I'll close public comment and return it back to the commission.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to recommend approval of the final plat for Shaw Estates Third Edition.
Second.
Motion is to recommend approval of the final plat for Schaaf's Estates Third Edition. Motion by Commissioner Smith, second by Commissioner McLean. Questions? None. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Langang,
Yes.
Commissioner Huber,
Yes.
Commissioner Horn,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich,
Yes.
Commissioner Infeld,
Yes.
Commissioner McLean,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammond,
Yes.
Commissioner Gardner,
Yes.
Commissioner Renner,
Yes.
Chair Robinson.
Yes. Motion is passed. On to the second public hearing, consideration of a special use permit for 2510 40th Avenue Southeast. Rachel?
Okay, so this is a request for a special use permit on Lot 1B, Block 1, Lakewood Commercial Park, 3rd Edition, 4th replat. And I'm going to pull the map up. This is the zoning map. So it's currently a vacant lot zone CB business commercial. So the applicant has previously had a special use permit denied as a request because it included a city-owned lot to the east, which is this lot here, which bordered residential neighbors, which had concerns, who had concerns regarding the appearance and impact of the proposed development. The new application does restrict the use to the applicant's property along 40th Avenue Southeast and does not utilize the city-owned lot. The property is zoned CB commercial, as are all surrounding properties. So the applicant is requesting a special use permit for shop condo development, which is defined in Mandan City Code as a multi-use shop, is 2 or more attached units that are designed and constructed as a single structurally dependent building, or designed and constructed to allow individual units to be structurally independent from each other, sharing a common wall on one or more sides. These are sometimes referred to as shop condos, and then it goes on to explain how they're unique from a twin and row home and from a commercial strip mall. So the code does note a few items that should be reviewed, and so those items are listed in your packet, but I won't go through them. The relevant ones that I wanted to talk about were that the codes, covenants, and restrictions and other form of recorded agreement approved by the city attorney shall set out at a minimum provisions for access and responsibility for costs of inspections related to the fire suppression system, if any, as well as number 4, which talks about changes of use, which need to be reevaluated through the special use permitting process. And the structure needs to meet all building code requirements for that desired change of use. So then there is information for the special use permit application itself, which the applicant provided answers for in their packet. When staff reviewed this and the associated site plan, which you can see here, the main concerns staff had were regarding potential future declared uses that have not been declared via application or any other documentation at the moment. Staff has also not seen a detailed landscaping plan which could assist in determining compatibility with surrounding residential and lighter commercial uses. As seen on the zoning map, all of the surrounding uses are CB, but they are right now less intense uses. Staff recommendation is that if approved, the applicant provides a detailed covenant and use agreement to the city with their building permit and their mark application, as well as detailed building and landscaping plans at that time. In the packet you got, there is an error under the recommendation and suggested motion. There was just like a holdover from a previous version. There is in front of you all the proposed recommendation and motion, which notes that planning board should review and make a recommendation based on the findings in the packet. You also have in front of you a note from the Mitleiders, who are the applicant, that they sent in this afternoon, which is why you're just getting it in paper now. And it does have a proposed potential covenant agreement. I believe they are also here to talk about that. So again, those are the staff items that we've noted as far as that conditional, the conditional uses and the special use permit go. And I can take any questions.
Questions for Rachel?
As to the city lot, at the last hearing, we saw the topography of that, and a large portion of it is pretty much a drainage area. And I'm not sure what the value of this lot is to the city, but would this development completely restrict access, landlock that lot?
I believe that it would. Second, let me scroll up to that map. It would potentially restrict access to it, yes, but at the moment, that's not significantly changing the way that lot is at the moment.
Rachel, if we do recommend approval, do you want that in the motion, the detailed covenants and use in there as well? Okay.
Yeah, the note that staff had under the staff review on page 25 of your packet, noting concerns and then recommendation if approved that the applicant provide a detailed covenant and use agreement with building permit and mark application as well as detailed building and landscaping plans. I would say that those are fairly essential to making sure that this development would fit in with the surrounding neighborhood, which was, again, one of the concerns with not having that at this stage.
Okay.
Chair Robinson, just because I'm new, to bring me up to speed, can you explain a little bit to me did the applicant request the shop condos when most everything around there is all residential? And what was the letter that Andrew had sent, or the email that Andrew had sent, that it isn't able to be residential? Can you clarify that a little bit? I guess I'm struggling a little bit. If the applicant is requesting shop condos, that's fine, but if they were kind of forced into it instead of being residential, how come that one area is not allowed residential?
So CB is a commercial district. So if, for example, the Midlighters were doing a typical strip mall, like a commercial development, they could do that without going through the special use permit process.
But could it be residential also, though?
I don't know the answer to that one, to be honest with you. I believe it could. The remainder of those properties are, but I have not looked at that piece of the code in detail. I don't have a great answer for you. I could certainly look at it and get back to you.
Okay, just one other question, Chair Robinson, going back to what was previously asked. Is the city's lot going to be completely landlocked? What is the city's plans for having access to that lot in the future? I mean, I understand we can't hold the applicant to allowing the city access to that lot, but what's the city going to do with that lot? If there needs to be any kind of mowing or weed control or anything like that, how's the city going to get to that?
So I can let City Administrator Neubauer answer that question, but I will note, though, that right now there's no access to that lot. Right? I mean, like, they could choose not to allow the city through that lot right now. So, but I can let.
Thanks, Rachel. Chair Robinson and Commissioner Renner, I think that lot came back to the city for back taxes or something like that. That's how we acquired it. And like Rachel said, right now there is no access to that for us. I think it's been a handshake agreement, says, okay, you can come across our property and do mowing and whatever you need to do and good cleanup. We know that there are some parties that are interested in potentially acquiring the city lot right now, and as part of that agreement, I think then we would have an access agreement through that. The potential buyers of that lot, of the city-owned lot. Chair Renner or Chair Robinson and Commissioner Renner, I believe it would be all right if someone, yeah, right now, we don't have any access to it. So if someone were to come on and want to buy the city's lot and has an adjacent property, then we would work out those details with those future buyers. I don't think it'll be someone that is totally unrelated, whether it would be the Midlighters or whether it would be another party. It'd be as part of that, it's like, okay, we need access unless someone else is going to clean up those lots or do the mowing and spraying and things like that. Yet to be determined is, I guess, the best answer there.
Any other questions for Rachel? With none, at this time, I'll open up for public comments or questions. We're taking comments or questions on item number 2.
Good evening. My name's Steve Mitlighter. This is my wife, Erica Mitlighter, and we're the owners of the lot located at 2510 40th Avenue Southeast. We met some of you, I guess, a couple months ago. So this time we actually did bring Jason and Landon with Swenson, Hagen and Company, just in case there is some more questions that need a little bit more expertise, I guess, than we can offer. So please feel free to ask them any questions too. Just a little bit to Commissioner Renner, just to talk a little bit about like that residential situation. So my wife and I, we originally, for like a job that what we were looking to do is the reason why we purchased this lot, that is Zone CB, is we have a 7-year-old, 4-year-old, 1-year-old, lots of kids come over and play. We actually got into wanting to get into business for setting up play sets for kids. So we actually looked for a CB, like a lot that would allow an office for us, but yet we would we're gonna purchase. We're gonna have 5 of the most common displays that Rough House Play Sets offers. So our intention was, during the winter, families can come in, they can see this rather than trying to make a educated guess on a computer screen or a pamphlet, or they come in and they see this. We have an office, we can, sit down with them, and basically we line up our summer's work. We talked to Sarah, the next door neighbor that owns the preschool, about purchasing that lot, and she liked what we were trying to push forward. So, and so, they own the lot and they're also the neighbor to it. They supported what we are presenting. In the meantime, several people, finding out that we're the owners, they've reached out to us expressing interest, well, asking what we're doing, with it, and then they expressed interest in possibly trying to bring their businesses there. One of them is our neighbor. That's how we ended up talking. She's a chiropractor. She changed her lease 2 times now, moved her office several places, and she's a chiropractor that's really focused on teaching our clients movements, stretches, lifts, techniques to help themselves. It's not like they don't just come in, get cracked, and get pushed out. So she said that location would be perfect for her if she could have an office, but yet enough room to have some gym equipment to teach them stuff. And then just as time has gone, even though we don't even have the okay to do this, and we're not even advertising it, just multiple other businesses have reached out to us. One of them is a home builder, which he is here too. So if you have any questions for him too, I guess he's here also. Not to throw him under the bus there, or make him talk, but some of them that did show up. So at least that is kind of, I hope that answers your Commissioner Renner. That's, and the reason why we included the non-residential thing in there, or messages, because that Scott Ritter is actually the realtor that handled the lot sale that had previous conversations with Andrew, where Andrew basically stated that it's normally pointed out in bullet points what can and can't be there, and I guess it was buried pretty deep, that according to the covenants, how they're worded or something, that it can't be residential. We're not after residential, we're basically after, we wanted to do our shop, found a lot that was zoned for it, and purchased it. And that's, I guess, where we're at. And then, yeah, and Jason and Landon with Swenson Hagen are here too, I guess. But we're open to any questions too, or we'll try.
Questions for the Mitlighters? Thank you.
I guess I should add too, I would like to add, I know we've been in contact with, you know, like Rachel and Jim and Jordan, Jarek, I know some of the city we do plan on moving forward with doing, you know, hammering down, you know, CCRs, landscaping, but we realize that like that landscaping and all that would be like if Jordan's not happy with that or not approving with our screening and filtering and stuff at that time, you know, we wouldn't be able to get a permit. So that's where tonight we are looking forward to, for your approval, you know, to go to that next step. Is basically like, you know, we are aware of work, we do need to work with them.
I do have one question for you. Are you open to finding a way of making it so that we are not landlocked to this piece? Is there a way that we could, or is that not going to work with your current design?
You know, that's such a tough question, and I don't know. I don't want to veer off onto that city lot because it just seems like that just keeps on bringing up questions that there aren't answers for, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but we did meet with the city commission. The city commission said, see what planning and zoning says about our lot, and then come back to the city commission. So that's why, to answer your question there, Commissioner Renner, it is us that were trying to obtain that lot, but we don't want to mention that tonight because we don't want to start getting way off into the weeds about what's going to go on with that lot, because we own this lot. We want to move forward with our lot. We want to get started on our lot. I mean, it's just so tough to talk about it, but I mean, that is our, you know, our goal is to come back to the city commission and talk to them with your guys' response. So
we kind of realize that lot's probably more of like a burden to you to try to figure out how to access it and maintain it. But yeah, I think like Steve said, it seemed like last time we got off into the weeds because of that lot. So, but
I think we had gotten in the weeds because you guys were trying to purchase it or trying to find a way of purchasing it, which is not the case. And I'm not trying to figure out what to do with that lot. My only concern is, I don't want to be the commissioner that voted to landlock this thing into infinity. If this is an opportunity to make this right, we should talk about it this time.
I understand that. I appreciate, Rachel, you bringing up like it currently is landlocked. So by us doing something isn't going to make it more landlocked. Like it is as landlocked as it is right now as it will be. You know, it's not like right now we own it. It's not like anyone can just drive in there and go to the city's lot now, like they can't. So as far as that lot's access, I don't feel we're not going to make it worse. If not, honestly, it'd probably be better because they could drive a concrete road to the city lot. But I mean, I don't want to be the judge or giving my opinions on that, but I just appreciate you pointing out that, you know, it is currently landlocked. So like there's no easements or anything right now. So.
Any other questions? Thank you.
I did have one question, if we could. So the sample agreement that is provided uses the word tenant in it, which would suggest a rental situation as compared to an ownership situation that is typical of many shop condo arrangements. Can you speak to that, please?
You know, when we were writing this up, you know, last time we had kind of said too that, you know, there may be some that we keep ownership of and then rent, or they may be sold. I left that word in there thinking that it would be like, whether it was the owner or a renter, tenant would mean like the person occupying it, but we could certainly clarify that depending on the situation.
Thank you. And I guess it just, the reason for my question and concern would be that once something is sold, I would want to make sure that it was still subject to the same usage agreement, that this would be something that would be more than just a landlord-tenant agreement, that it would be a covenant that would get recorded and be associated with the deed.
Yes,
And the
yep,
actual-
exactly. And then I think number 7 here talked about like subleasing, if there was like a separate, like if somebody purchased it and then would sublease, it said, must agree in writing to comply with all terms of this agreement and any applicable condominium association rules, or, so kind of thinking ahead too, that, yeah, if there was other owners that were leasing theirs.
And that's where we appreciate that feedback too. That's kind of why we didn't do something that is like, here are the laws and present them to you. I mean, we're open, we still want to move forward working, with the city, making sure that we are doing the right thing. So.
Any other questions? Thank you. Again, we're taking comments or questions on item number 2. I'll have you state your name for the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Jason Patrician. I work for Swenson Hagen, and I am representing the developer here. Maybe just a little clarification if we go backwards a little bit. Initially, when Mitlighters came in, I think maybe there was a lot of things on the table that were getting mixed up. They were looking at potentially purchasing the city lot and working through that process, and maybe.
Could you speak up? I can't hear you, please.
And maybe in error, mixing too many things together, right? And so taking a step back and coming back to this commission and dealing with just their lot and what they would like to do with that lot brought them here with this application for a special use permit. So I've been working in the Bismarck-Mandan community for 25 years, and I can't tell you how many shop condo projects that I've done. I think to a point they get a bad rap. I think our starting businesses and some of our smaller businesses in this community are looking for a home that shop condos is where we've put the name on it and where they've fallen into. So when we talk about shop condos, typically we are talking about an industrious use where I have a construction company here with all their equipment and I have a gravel yard, and that's not what we're looking at in this situation. So what we're looking at actually is a group of businesses that don't fit into a model maybe that need to have an acre or 2 acres of land, but they still need to find somewhere to run that business. So for instance, as it was stated earlier, Pinnacle Homes, right? Pinnacle Homes can come in here, put their sales and make a spot for people to come in and go through, figure out what that house might look like. And that's a very different use than it is to have all that construction equipment, which is housed at a different location. So for instance, a chiropractor, right? A chiropractor may not necessarily need to go and spend $3 million to put up a building on an acre of land or half an acre of land, where they can kind of get into something that's a little smaller scale. And we run into this in Bismarck, and we've run into this in Mandan also. And so if I had a strip mall, which doesn't need a special use permit, and I had all retail shops in there, I would have a very high traffic load coming into possibly some of these shops that would be a retail type use. So how does that building look different, right? So we try to, make that building look upscale, try to blend it in with the community, try to do some of those softening things. But at the end of the day, the community still needs places like that, and it's how we put that together, which in the end makes it feel something that can fit into a community. And so I think that having a conditional approval for having the covenants, having some of the use descriptions, having some of these other things in them are a good thing to follow with your recommendation. To touch on a few points, site plan, landscape plan, stormwater plan. Those are ordinance items. Those items we have to do regardless. If Mitlighters get a special use permit tonight, that's just one step. They get to go to the city to bring their site plan, landscape plan, stormwater plan for review and approval. If they get past that step, they get to go to the building department and they get to deal with any type of building code, fire code, any other things related to the building. And so there's a multitude of steps to go through yet just to get this first step behind them. In regards to the access easement, to answer your question, yes, the property would be landlocked. Does that mean that there's an opportunity to get an access easement? I think that's something that could be talked about and taken care of. A couple points that I would make with that too is that with that, not only if there was an access easement, there would have to be a discussion about a common use and maintenance agreement that would carry through with that. If the property were to be sold to somebody other than Mitlighters, then there would be a concern by the owner in regards to maintenance of that driveway. And so, as you saw in the concept plan, there was two buildings, one on the north side, one on the south side, and kind of a driving lane that kind of comes in between those two buildings. So if an access easement was be able to be provided there, there would need to be a common use. Now, somebody's going to look at also having that developable in some form or fashion if it's going to be sold, which means then that there's also going to be a question about utilities. How do you get sanitary sewer back there? How do you get water into there? So there's also some other things that kind of carry with that sale in how you want to deal with that city lot. So whether or not that's a staff-related thing that gets sorted out, you know, if they bring a site plan in and how all of that looks, but there would be some other components that would have to carry through with that. And so, with all that being said, the site can be softened up with landscaping. That's something that, you know, we can look at the landscape plan. There can be a higher degree of landscaping provided around the perimeter of the lot and to shade and to work around the parking spaces and the driving lanes. So I think there's still an opportunity to get that site to look nice, to soften it up, to blend it in. And I don't think that the shop condo definition necessarily is as industrious as I think a lot of people think of it in that manner. So with that, I can answer any questions if you have them.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions on item number 2?
My name is Chuck Wyand. I live at 2509 Nash Lane, which is to the east of this Metlighter property and adjacent to the lot that the city owns. We were here about a month and a half or 2 months ago, and I remember a comment made by the board, one of the board members, that this particular lot, it really isn't suitable for shop condos. And all my neighbors to the east that live on 2509 and on the other side of the street kind of go along with that. I know your job is very difficult to do, but I thought we have hatched this out once before that putting condos, shop condos, or as the gentleman just says, shops or whatever they're going to be, in a residential area that's surrounded by residential property, except for at the Montessori school. We just think that is a bad idea. And as to the lot there, I've talked with all my neighbors. We are willing to purchase that lot and have it plotted to have all the lots that are there would have a portion extended out, or more or less just extend their property. I visited with Mr. Neubauer and told him we were interested in doing that. And I'd really like to say that putting this particular buildings right in the middle of a residential area is not conducive to that neighborhood. We have to sit out in our backyard and look at those buildings. And granted, I know he bought the property to put something on it, and of course that's his business. But these large buildings that are going out there are just not conducive to that piece of land. And I would just like to recommend a no on a special use permit. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Good evening. I'm back. 3 snakes in my yard. My name is Jane Husengay. I live at 2503 Nash Lane. Tonight I come to you to stand in opposition to the proposed shop condos. I've not read or seen an actual plan for what they'll be used, their rentals, privately owned, etc. This could be a problem in the future if anything arises from those units. I have not seen a detailed landscaping plan or an actual rendering of what the buildings will look like when completed. What are the covenants and where can we read those? I feel without knowing all the actual facts that is not in the best interest of the city or the homeowners moving forward. We do continue to be concerned about drainage onto the city lot and what would happen with the lot at 4205 Shoal Loop, which is currently that city lot. I feel this might be a slippery slope and make plans for those 18-foot sidewalls to go 10 foot behind the fence in my backyard. I understand it was empty when I bought it, but I also understood at the time that it was not a buildable lot because of that drainage issue back there. So I guess that's really my concern. And he did stop over and visit us all. Mr. Metlighter did. He came over to my house and suggested that if we didn't want to go along with those shop condos, he could just put a 4-story building back up on that lot as he originally planned. So, but I'm glad he found out he can't do that. Thanks for your time.
Any other comments, questions? Again, we're taking comments on item number 2. For no further comments, I'll close the public comments and return it back to the commission.
Mr. Chairman, I'll start. I have some comments for consideration. I think at the last hearing, the application included a substantial portion of the city lot. That resulted in, among other things, the structure being placed much closer to the residential homes. So I think that's a pretty major distinction in this application. They purchased the property. It was zone commercial business. Under commercial business, I don't have the list in front of me, but it's more than just strip malls or other things you can put there. They can do a farm equipment repair shop, auto repair shop, railroad spur storage. That's endless amount of commercial activity that could be placed there. In that consideration, I think there could be a lot less attractive buildings or businesses or structures that could be placed on there legally, or they would not even have to appear before this commission. I know the residents won't be happy with my opinion, but my opinion is that I think under all those conditions that we should approve it subject to all the conditions that the staff is recommending and the engineer testified to. That's kind of where I'm at.
Any other comments, questions from the commission?
Yeah, I do have one question probably for the city staff. In regards, this is a tricky one, in regards to the drainage, because that seems to pop up in my head I missed the last meeting, but I read through the notes. Is there any, if there was concrete put in to that lot, is that going to create any more issues with the drainage situation? That seems to be somewhat of an issue currently.
Commissioner Robinson, Chair Robinson, Commissioner Infeld. There's been nothing that's been updated as far as the storm water is concerned yet. We haven't received anything or got anything. That's not shocking with just the state of all of that, the world right now and all of that. So nothing new updated. I don't know about the concrete situation. I think that would probably be determined after we would discover that. But I know Commissioner Smith and others have looked at that. I mean, it's a significant drainage portion of that property. So,
And just to follow up, that would be part of the, follow-up landscaping plan and things like that to come forward too, which, I mean, could have significant impact if that were to move forward at that point too. But
yeah, that would all be part of the stormwater plan to be shown on plan then.
Any other questions?
Chair Robinson, I just echo Commissioner Smith's comments. My notes that I wrote was that it's very similar to the type that you would already have commercial there. 40th, is that arterial, or do you know what type of road that? I mean, that's a pretty busy road, and so I would kind of, it does make sense that it already has commercial on there. And then the distance to the property, not having that buffer, I was also connected with that statement. And then I guess the only thing I'm struggling with is just the landlocked part of it. When I've helped developers develop in the past, or people buying land or purchasing, I've always struggled with it kind of seems like the city tried to make a deal with people that own property. I'll give you a permit if you give me access. So I'm really struggling with that. I don't know how to, but it bothers me that this is a junction where we could remedy that and get that resolved. I just feel like that does make sense, that if the people in Mandan were sitting up here where we're sitting, that, to get access to that land, and then what we'd have to do to remedy that someday would be really frustrating if people want less taxes and less problems. And so, I don't know, my mind goes, wow, could somebody hold us hostage to buying some land till we finally got it access? I don't think it goes down that road. Maybe probably let a lawnmower in there. I don't know, but just seems like a clean place to resolve that problem. Other than that, I'm in support of this as well.
Any other comments, questions?
Chair Robinson, just my opinion too, I know Commissioner Gardner is saying too, I think you're getting down to probably only two groups that are going to be able to buy this property then. It's either Knit-Lighters that are going to have the back half, or the Townhome Association or the owners. would buy it to expand their properties. It is a city lot, sorry, city, but I mean, if it was somebody else's privately held lot, like Will Gardner owned it or something like that, I think I'd be more concerned about the landlocked part of it. But I think that more than likely either this group or the other group will purchase it, so I'm not as concerned with the landlocked part of it.
Any other comments from the commission?
Well, Chair Robinson, just to kind of reiterate what was already said, that lot is landlocked right now the way it is. Doesn't matter if they put a building up or not. That is landlocked. And I don't think it's fair to try to hold them hostage on what they want to do with their parcel and their lot because of a potential landlock. So I think we have to judge what we're doing with them strictly on their lot and kind of ignore the landlocked part of the lot behind it.
Any other comments?
I guess just one more from me after hearing the comments, and I think the engineering firm too made a good point. This is just one step in their approval process, so they're going to have to still prove to us that the design is going to be good, the drainage is going to be good. There's several other steps that are going to have to be approved before anything goes up.
Any other comments or questions? Are we ready for a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll give it a shot. I move to approve the requested special use permit for multi-use shop condos on Lot 1B, Block 1, Lakewood Commercial Park, 3rd Edition, 4th replat. On the condition, the applicant provides a detailed covenant and use agreement to city with a building permit and Mandan Architectural Review Commission application, as well as detailed building and landscaping plans at that time, which also include stormwater drainage and all other issues.
Need a little help listing all the items here, but motion by Commissioner Smith, second by Commissioner Renner. Motion is to approve the requested special use permit for multi-use shop condos on Lot 1B, Block 1, Lakewood Commercial Park, 3rd Edition, 4th replat, based on details, CCR, covenants, conditions, and restrictions, and building permit and mark applications, as well as stormwater and landscaping plans. Is that completed? Do we have any questions on the motion? None. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Langang?
Yes.
Commissioner Huber?
No.
Commissioner Horn?
Yes.
Mayor Freilich?
Yes.
Commissioner Infeld?
Yes.
Commissioner McLean?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammond?
Yes.
Commissioner Gardner?
Yes.
Commissioner Renner?
Yes.
Chair Robinson?
Yes. And the motion is passed. Move on to public hearing number 3. Consideration for preliminary plat and master plan for Call Edition. Rachel?
Okay. Okay, so let me go down to my map here. This is a proposed preliminary plat located in the southeast quarter of Section 32, Township 139 North, Range 81 West, 5th Meridian, Morton County, within the ETJ. So this portion of the southeast quarter of Section 32 has previously been partially platted. Sorry, I'm just going to arrange this really quickly. To include It's been previously partially platted as Lot A, and it has 4 existing lots, which are Lot 1 of Lot A, Lot 2 of Lot A, Lot 3 of Lot A, and then the remainder of Lot A. So on this map, you cannot see Lot 2 of Lot A. So the applicant is proposing to add 2 additional lots, Lot 1 and 2 of Block 1, both of which contain 1.5 acres. So staff did request that a master plan be created for the remainder of Lot A in the northeast quarter of the southeast quarter, although not for the full extent of Lot A, in order to have a future understanding of access and development potential. This has been included in the application. So this is the full property. You can see the full Lot A and the 2 proposed lots here. And then this is the proposed master plan. This has been included in the application, and it shows future roadway access surrounding the property, as well as an internal 66-foot roadway right-of-way with a potential for 8 additional large residential lots. So there are 3 acres to be platted into lots 1 and 2 of Block 1. Access to both lots will be via a 40-foot wide access easement that runs west across Lot A, and then through Lot 1, Block 1 to Lot 2, Block 1, and it takes access from 22.5 Avenue. There may be a culvert required for this access during the driveway and building permit process, but it has not been identified at this stage. There's no zone change request being made at this time. All of the surrounding zoning is agricultural. The future land use plan designates this area as public land, and it's shown outside of the 2030 growth boundaries, so the very low density residential nature of the development should be in line with this. The findings of fact for the preliminary plat are all within your packet. There's nothing of note there. And city staff is recommending approval of the call addition preliminary plat and proposed master plan contingent on final plat approvals. And I can answer any questions that you might have.
Questions for Rachel? Again, questions for Rachel? With none, I'll open it up for public comments or questions on item number 3. Taking comments on item number 3. And one final call, item number 3. With none, I'll close. Return it back to the commission.
Chair Robinson, I move to recommend approval of the call addition, preliminary plat, and master plan contingent on the final plat approvals.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner McLean, second by Commissioner Infeld. And the motion is to recommend approval of call addition, preliminary plat, and master plan contingent on final plat approvals. Any questions? None, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Langing?
Yes.
Commissioner Huber?
Yes.
Commissioner Horn?
Yes.
Mayor Freilich?
Yes.
Commissioner Infeld?
Yes.
Commissioner McLean?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammond?
Yes.
Commissioner Gardner?
Yes.
Commissioner Renner?
Yes.
Chair Robinson?
Yes. And the motion is passed. Public hearing number 4, consider Evergreen Heights 5th edition preliminary plat. Rachel?
Okay, the final one. I will skip right to the recommendation on this one, which is to table it. If you'd like, I can still go through the full memo and the information and why we're recommending tabling. But I did want to get that out of the way to start. So this is a proposed preliminary plat located north of 19th Street Southeast and east of 14th Avenue Southeast. It's a replat of the existing lots 2 through 6 of Evergreen Heights 2nd Edition and of Lot 1, Block 1, Evergreen Heights 4th Edition in the southwest quarter of Section 35, Township 139 North, Range 81 West. Scroll down to the map. So this is the zoning map, and then this is the future land use plan. And this is the subdivision plat. So the existing lot owners are looking to replat and purchase there's a larger lot directly to the east of these individual home lots. I know this is really hard to see. See how large I can get it. So this back area is one large lot right now, and then these are individual home lots up front. This is a street right-of-way here, and more street right-of-way on the east side. So they would be vacating that right-of-way with this plat as well. All of the lots are zoned R7. The total area of the plat is 4.43 acres, with new proposed lots ranging from 45,126 square feet to 24,070 square feet, so all within range of the zoning code for R7. The access to existing lots is not changing because they'll maintain access from 14th Avenue Southeast. The properties to the east of the subdivision will maintain their existing access as well. And proposed lot 7 will take access from 19th Street Southeast. So that is the southernmost lot here. Access between the existing lot 1, block 1. I'm going to zoom out here. And again, I apologize. So this is lot 1, block 1 of, lot 1, block 1 and lot 1, block 2 of Evergreen Heights 4th edition. And then lot 1, block 1 of the Living Water edition. Currently is provided via 16th Avenue Southeast, which is this north road proposed to be vacated, and Living Water Drive, which is shown here on the plat. So the proposed plat shows platting that right-of-way partially into the proposed replats of lot 1 through 7, and partially creating this lot 1. City staff did mention concern of this, and Friday afternoon we received an updated plat, but haven't had time to fully review it with where lot 1 would be absorbed into lot 2, as shown on this plat, although those numbers will change. And then the city staff do have, like I said, have concern over that lot 1. There is a water line along 16th Street Southeast from 14th Avenue to 1806. An easement should be shown for this and for the associated fire hydrant that's just inside the right-of-way area, which is, I think it falls right about here on this map. So staff had concerns that all needs have been met by this because there are so many easements running through this plat with the road vacations and the existing water lines and the existing utility easements. And so, as noted, we had asked for some updates to the plat. We did receive them on Friday afternoon. We have not had time to fully review them. So we didn't necessarily feel comfortable making a recommendation based on this plat or the one that came in on Friday, which is where our recommendation to table is coming from. And I can answer any questions that you might have.
Questions for Rachel?
Rachel, that replat, was that recommendation based off the city, or was that just an owner's, was that on their own that they decided to replat that lot 1?
So changing, I guess, are you asking about this particular plat that was turned in that we're looking at right now?
Yeah, the most recent one on Friday that they had, you said they replatted lot 1 or made it bigger, or?
Correct. Okay, so yeah, on the map here, you can see lot 1 looks like kind of an upside down backward L shape. That's because it is part of the right-of-way for 16th Street Southeast and Living Water Drive. And so city staff had concern about that. It's not a buildable lot the way it sits. And so the city staff would like to see that incorporated into one of the surrounding properties. And so the plat turned in Friday shows it being incorporated into what on the plat in your packet is shown as lots 2 and lot 3. I believe. but again, I haven't had time to fully review it. So they show a slightly different configuration there, which is probably fine, but I just am really hesitant to make a recommendation on it without having had time to fully review it.
So the recommendation is based primarily just for more time.
There's a lot of easements in here, Chair Robinson, and so there's a lot of easements. We want to make sure the city utilities are taken care of. We want to make sure that the road right-of-way is being appropriately vacated and appropriately spread out to the correct owners the way it should be.
Questions for Rachel? With none, I will open it up for public comment. Questions?
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. Greg Fazer here, the engineer for this replat. Quick question: have you guys had, or do you have a copy of the new updated plat? Or okay,
It's not in our packet, no.
okay. Is it something that I can put on the screen, or just to?
Take that back. That might be the one here with the satellite picture in addition to the site here. That is the original.
Chair Robinson, yes, the one you have in front of you is that's in the packet is the original. The one on Friday came in too late for inclusion.
Okay.
This here will kind of show basically the contours off they were requested and things, kind of just to be able to see just to be able to see things a little bit more clearly. So where that L-shaped lot was up along the north side of 16th and then down along Living Water Drive, what we did is essentially extended the lot lines out to the plat boundary, so that L shape essentially is absorbed into lot 1, lot 2, and lot 3. So it's no longer exists. The lots are renumbered with 1 through 6, and there's no other remaining property. Everything has an owner assigned to it. There's accesses. Everyone has access off of 14th for the current homes that are out there, and then 19th for the very south one. And I know also there was some question or discussion on the easements, making sure that the city has the appropriate easements. We had them on there, but we changed a couple of the line types, made sure that everything was included. So we have the existing 8-inch water main. There's a hydrant out here. So this entire right-of-way, what used to be right-of-way, is set up for the 20-inch city water main, city sanitary sewer, and then this hydrant here, which is part of the current owner, and the shop condos will have a fire line extended and a hydrant placed over here. So that's all inclusive of the easements. We've addressed drainage and have them all kind of labeled or listed within this here description, which includes these widths of the entire area. And then we have the access easement that the landowners had requested. And so I think we've got everything addressed or covered within here. And just a little bit more background. a few years back when this was originally platted as one large residential lot. The purpose at that point was there was no one person or group of individuals that was interested in purchasing that property. And the idea was that it could maybe be developed, and over time it was determined that trying to get Living Water Drive extended in 16th, just the cost of the streets, just to have frontage on one side became cost prohibitive. And within that time frame, the adjacent landowners that have their homes right along 14th were interested in purchasing it, and that's where they came up with kind of the discussions between the owner and some of the property owners on purchasing and subdividing this now to better fit within the city of Mandan. So, any questions or anything else anyone would like to see on?
Questions? Thank you.
Commissioners, thank you. My name is Ben Capel. I am one of the purchasers, and I'm also the agent representing the buyers on this. I'm actually here tonight to see if you would push this forward. It's a very simple process. We have a bunch of homeowners trying to purchase land behind us because none of us want homes behind us. We just want to plant trees back there, and that's about it. Yeah, it's very simple. I think the new drawing has it all set up here for us. Like I said, I'm already kind of buying two back there because I have one neighbor that doesn't want them, and I'm trying to hold 4 others together in this deal with contracts that expire at the end of next month. So I don't want to see this just keep getting kicked down the road. I think it's a simple plan. Everything is addressed, and if we need to make any final tweaks before the final plat drawing, we're all very, very much open to that. So my hope is that you guys will take a vote on this evening. Any questions for me?
Questions?
Ben, why'd you take so long to get that plat redone?
I am not very good with the engineering side of making these drawings. I have to rely on somebody else for that. So my apologies for not getting to that sooner, I guess. Anything else? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments? Comments or questions on item number 4? Again, taking comments on item number 4. Call one last time. With none, I'll close. Return it back to the commission. I'll go back to the early comments. Vetting process. City would still like to go through their proper vetting, thorough vetting.
Chair Robinson, I think that there's still a slight concern over the way that right-of-way has been re-subdivided. The previous iteration had the ownership split out in pretty much the same way the vacation process would require by Century Code, and this I'm not. I would like more time with it, but I understand also wanting to push it ahead and not holding it up another month.
So this is a preliminary approval, right? So, I mean, is it possible that we can not let a month go by and still make changes, or is that? I guess I'm not real clear about the difference between preliminary and final, but it would seem like you could make some alterations, or do you have to do another preliminary if you find something?
Go ahead.
Chair Robinson, Commissioner, so typically it would be major changes that would require a preliminary plat to go back through the preliminary process. I think you could probably make these changes between the two. I I haven't even had enough time to evaluate it to know what those changes might be or might be required. Again, we could totally go through it, look at it, and make some recommendations and have a list of recommendations for city commission.
I mean, if the preliminary fails, I mean, we're no further behind our head.
And it has to go to the city commission after us. So Rachel, you'd have time to review it prior to the city commission hearing, and if it didn't meet specs, you could testify in opposition and why. Correct.
Chair Robinson, Commissioner, yes, we could do that.
Rachel, if we did do that, something like that, do you want us to tailor the motion in a way that you can do that and make it helpful to you?
I believe that would be helpful. Yeah, I'm not thinking that there's probably anything major. I just, like I said, I haven't had enough time to even really review it to the point to know if there's anything wrong or if there might be.
Yeah, and as to my comments, I want to support the staff too, but I'm just trying to think of how we can move along and give you the authority to act.
This is what we've been waiting for all night anyway.
Commissioner Robinson. Chair Robinson and Commissioners, one of the concerns that we do have is that normally in a street vacation, half goes to each party. And in this case, it seems that all of the property is being taken in by the other adjoining property owners, and that's kind of a major concern on our end, to make sure the other properties are aware of that and things like that. We don't want someone to come back and say, hey, you vacated the street. It's usually 66 feet wide. We get 33 feet, and we get 33 feet. In this case, it seems like all of that vacation is moving over to one property owner. So that would be fairly significant in this process.
Well, I'm going to back the staff on this one. I move to recommend tabling of the preliminary plat for the Evergreen 5th edition so that the applicant may resolve the issues with the preliminary plat. And in particular, given the timing that it was submitted.
I'm going to second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Smith, second by Commissioner Hammond. Motion is to recommend tabling of the preliminary plat for the Evergreen 5th edition so that the applicant may resolve issues with the preliminary plat. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Lange? Commissioner Huber?
Yes.
Commissioner Horn? Yes. Mayor Freilich?
Yes.
Commissioner Infeld?
Yes.
Commissioner McLean?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammond?
Yes.
Commissioner Gardner?
Yes.
Commissioner Renner?
Yes.
Chair Robinson?
Yes. And motion is passed. No other business for the evening? With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you.